Coming up on News Watch, and we're following breaking news of a shooting in Aurora, Illinois.
A ride at SeaWorld in San Diego causes a scare.
And a lawsuit against President Trump's national emergency declaration.
All that and more tonight on News Watching. Good evening, I'm Kevin Myers.
And I'm Anthony Spina. 5 people are dead and 5 police officers are injured after a man opened fire at an industrial warehouse in Aurora, Illinois. The gunman, 45-year-old Gary Martin, was told he was being fired from his job at the warehouse after 15 years and then opened fire. Martin was also killed in the shootout with police. The shooting took place at the Henry Pratt Company in Aurora, a town about 40 miles west of Chicago. The 5 officers injured and another unidentified victim are being treated for non-life-threatening gunshot injuries.
A ride at SeaWorld in San Diego turned to a rescue mission for 16 passengers. Gusts of winds were reported to have tripped a circuit breaker on the gondola ride, which caused the ride to come to a complete stop for several hours. There were a total of 5 gondolas stopped on the ride, and among those trapped were a baby and a partially paralyzed passenger. Firefighters came to the rescue after several hours and brought all 16 passengers to safety, and nobody was harmed in the incident. SeaWorld stated that it will conduct a thorough inspection of the ride before they allow it to reopen.
Former Brooklyn Dodgers pitching great Don Newcombe has died after a lengthy illness. Newcombe was one of the first African-American pitchers in Major League Baseball. He joined the Dodgers in 1949 and won Rookie of the Year. In his rookie season, Newcombe and teammate Jackie Robinson became 2 of the first 4 African-Americans to appear in an All-Star game. His 20 wins in 1955 helped the Dodgers win the World Series that year. Don Newcombe was 92 years old.
Before the Major League Baseball season even started, a record was already broken. After last year's season, 2 All-Stars, Manny Machado and Bryce Harper, were the biggest names of free agency. Machado was the first of the 2 to sign a deal, and he did so in dramatic fashion. He signed for $300 million over 10 years, and his new home is in San Diego with the Padres. This deal is being labeled the biggest free agent contract in the history of American sports. Since Machado was signed, all eyes are now on Bryce Harper. Now the question is not only where will he sign, but how much will he get?
A group of 16 states has filed a lawsuit in a Northern California federal court against President Trump's national emergency declaration. The group says it's unconstitutional for the president to use executive power to fund a border wall. The lawsuit says that the Constitution gives Congress alone the power to control spending, not the president. The White House has argued that the move is routine. Experts seem to think the courts are likely to defer to the president on the question of whether there is an emergency. Buffalo Bills QB Josh Allen signed a photo of himself today for a fan and added a message for Jaguars defensive back Jalen Ramsey. Allen wrote, "Hey Ramsey, am I still trash?" under his signature on the photo. The Bills QB said he added the jab at Ramsey by request of the fan. The Jags defensive back called Allen trash during an interview last August. Allen led the Bills to a win over Ramsey and the Jaguars 3 months later. However, Ramsey's response to Allen's message today was, "Yes, you're still trash."
A former NFL player and ex-Seahawk, T.J. Cunningham, was shot and killed Sunday in a parking lot in Centennial, Colorado. The shooter was found to be 31-year-old Marcus Johnson. Police say a dispute broke out between the 2 in a parking lot over a parking spot, which resulted in Johnson shooting Cunningham. Cunningham was a standout athlete at the University of Colorado and was drafted in the 6th round by the Seattle Seahawks in 1996. Following his retirement from the NFL, he served as the assistant principal of a high school in Colorado. Cunningham is survived by his wife and 5 children. He was 46. In lighter news, on Valentine's Day, a group of prisoners in Florida used their acquired skills to break a baby out of a car. The prisoners were on work release in Pasco County fixing parking meters when a family in distress caught their attention. A 1-year-old baby was locked inside the car with the keys, and the family could not afford a locksmith. The group of prisoners helped by working together. They pried open the door while one used a coat hanger to hit the unlock button for the door. While bystanders were worried about the baby being scared, the mother, Shadow Lantry, said the baby sat there happy the whole time. The entire task took about 2 minutes and ended with one happy family and a crew of inmates cheering together in excitement. Well, how about that, Anthony? I guess you really can't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, it's an incredible story to hear. They definitely deserve some time for good behavior.
I totally agree. They definitely did a good deed that day. Coming up after the break, Pete Johans will have your weather forecast.
And we'll get you ready for the 91st Academy Awards. Stay with us.